Ever since the Christmas of 2013, I had to stop playing video games. Let's just say I'm a little competitive. Like, it used to be really bad, but then between Christmas and New Year, I would literally be playing the game and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes, I'm just finishing this level. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, one more level. And I'd play and it would feel like 30 minutes went by and then all of a sudden, like out my window, the sun was coming up. It's a problem. Basically, here's the bottom line. If I played video games, I would be homeless and I would live in a van down by the river. That's what exactly would happen. Hello, adventurers. Something really cool happened the other day. We have a lot of friends that are missionaries, and so they're across the ocean, right? So we don't get to always see them. And so my wife got an invite to a baby shower for one of our friends who are having a baby, but the baby shower was completely virtual, which I thought this was a great idea because we can't be on that other side of the ocean and all of our friends can't be there, so they can all get together. And they had a virtual baby shower. And that is an amazing idea. The future is in virtual events. It's something that you really need to consider. Recently, there was even a world record where the number of people that were like in a virtual event or a trade show, imagine that over 10,000 people registered to be a part of this trade show that was completely virtual, that they could interact with each other's avatars. And we talked about the popularity of things like Google Hangouts on Air, that Google bought YouTube. You take YouTube where they're allowed to stream, and now you put that in Google Hangouts where you can have meetings or you could broadcast that. So the first ever Google Hangout on Air was the Black Eyed Peas, and even the president had the first ever virtual interview. So you know that it's gaining in that popularity. There's other platforms too, things like Skype. In the last year, over 214 billion minutes were call to call on mobile devices. That's 40% of the entire telecom market. So that's insane where the future is going with that. And it's only gonna get more and more popular. So major companies are investing a lot of R&D in these ideas of virtual events. So from Google, spending lots of money on Google Hangouts and having that be mobile, and developing things like Google Glass to try to untether you from just your phone and be able to broadcast what you're looking at, to even Microsoft. They bought Minecraft for $2 billion, where it's a virtual world where people can collaborate and build things. And they bought Oculus Rift, which is a complete virtual reality headset that will get smaller and smaller to the point of you're playing games in a virtual world, but your friends next to you. So we were creating these whole virtual worlds. And while that's for gaming, that's gonna start to have business applications. You know, I used to hear of friends that in college, they would sell blood or they'd have a paper route just to make it by. Well, I have friends now, and even Logan was telling me like his Clash of Clans account, different things he puts on eBay, that he plays up the account and people will buy it. Like they find some, you know, golden scepter of wrath. I don't know if that's even a thing. Somebody will buy it for $20. You either cut grass through the summer or you play video games and you sell the things you find. Like, it's starting to have an economy. Like, that's crazy, and it's even a little bit weird, but it's a trend of the future to show you that, hey, you need to be thinking that where the future is going with the death of distance is the ability to have virtual events. So we decided we are gonna have a Pi Day Pie Party. I knew that I wanted to do a Google Hangout on how the Facebook algorithm works. I could say, if you want to have my lecture on how the Facebook algorithm works, please join me at, or I'm gonna have a Pi Day party. Of course you're gonna wanna come to a Pi Day party. And I think the best way to learn is that you have fun and that you play. The best learning for me is when you don't even know that you're learning. We decided to do ours on a Google Hangout on Air. You can actually just create a Google event if you weren't having video with it. There's also Facebook events, and we're gonna show you how to do that in an upcoming episode. So you wanna cross-platform pollinate that, but don't be boring about it. So what we did is we said things like, what is your favorite kind of pie? Join us at the Pi Day party. And people went and they said, I like this kind of pie. I like lemon meringue. What are your questions ahead of time to get their questions? You see, we're not just promoting, we're engaging and we're having fun. And then when we actually had the party, you gotta do things that is not just we're gonna broadcast. So what were some of the things that we did? Well, some of it was planned and some of it wasn't planned. We knew that we wanted everybody to bring pie. So we said, hey, bring pie, and then when we did that, we did a countdown to 9:26. So it was really fun that we did this countdown. So think about like, when do you unveil something or do a countdown and build that suspense? And then we said, hey, take a selfie with your pie and then post that. So now people are being able to see that and they're able to interact. Because it's not just this, I'm broadcasting. We had trivia about pie, whether that was math or the dessert. But we said, hey, you gotta post your answer on Twitter. Then when they were doing that though, we had different people on the team that were part of that were liking and commenting. You gotta use technology for things that couldn't be done. Don't just have it be a TV channel. But in between all of it, we were teaching, because our heart is, we wanna give you information, we wanna help you win. But we wanna have a lot of fun doing that. And so what we did is we kind of created the environment, invited people in, and then we got out of the way and let them have fun with that. Jeremiah came up with a hashtag of hashtag 31415party, because other people were doing other things. So sometimes you want to jump on another hashtag because you want to interact with new people. But if we just used a popular hashtag, we wouldn't be able to tell who was part of our event or not. So we used a unique hashtag and said, use that. We're reminding people in the promotion, use the hashtag. When we're tweeting about it and we're posting about it, we're using the hashtag. The hashtag becomes a party for that. So after you've created your hashtag and you've set up your event and you're promoting it and then your event's going great, one of the great things about it is after people leave a physical party, there's not a big opportunity to follow up. But with this, we had people posting on Instagram and people posting on Facebook and Twitter. And it was great to then just sit and say, hey, thanks for joining us, and liking their photos and replying back. Is the party was extended and we were able to put follow-up information on that. So that was a great example where, you know what, we wanted to help people, but at the end of the day, we had a lot of fun. And so one of the things is in the contest, it turned into, hey, it's Pie Day. Somebody suggested who's gonna get pied in the face. So we're taking audience suggestions. Unfortunately, that was a bad one because I got picked and I got pied in the face, and it was not, everything smelled like key lime for like 3 days. It got inside in there, in my sinuses. So you see, the possibilities are endless what you can do. We live in the future. And in some of the next episodes, we're gonna show you how to set one of those up. But I wanted to give you the inspiration behind it before we always give you just information. So remember that social media isn't always the adventure. It's talking about the adventure. But in this case, you can have a virtual adventure, and your adventure begins right now.